Opening with the queen's pawn controls the center and usually leads to a more positional development of the pieces. The Indian game begins by controlling the important e4 square with the knight, rather than a pawn. c4 builds a strong center by controlling the important d5 square and creates a square for the knight to come to c3 without blocking the c-pawn. c6 controls the d5 and b5 squares, prepares the d5 pawn push and allows the queen to develop on the queen side. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center and supports the d4 pawn. d5 takes space in the center, attacks the c4 pawn and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. Good job defending that pawn. Bishop g4 develops the bishop and pins the knight to the queen. Knight c3 develops the knight toward the center and attacks the d5 pawn. The bishop is ready to be developed to an active square. With that move, you chase the bishop away. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. You use the recapture to develop another piece, developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. Developing the bishop and increasing influence in the center. This is an equal trade. You take back. This pins a knight to the king. You kicked your opponent's piece from that square. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. Castling kingside tends to be safer because your king is further from the center. This misses an opportunity to castle to the same side as the opponent. A good choice to move your threatened bishop. Castling to the same side of the board is a more cautious approach. This is the only move that works and you found it. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. You're kicking their knight out of a useful square. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Recapturing. This overlooks an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. It's important to get all your pieces off their starting squares and into the action. Advancing the pawns in front of the king can compromise the king's safety. Not the best move, but not bad either. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. That was a fair trade. Black's recapture simultaneously activates another piece. You attack a knight, winning a tempo when it moves away. This mobilizes the knight, allowing it to control more of the board. You kicked your opponent's piece from that square. This loses a knight. Nice, you found a way to win a knight. One of the best moves. You captured back. Takes back. You take back. This defends the attacked pawn. You move the bishop to a better square. Very precise. Very good choice. This kicks a bishop. You exchange pieces of equal value. Recaptures. Well done, an excellent move. Black activates the last piece, bringing all pieces into play. You've moved your piece to a powerful square. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. Good job, that's what I would have played too. This steps away from the checking bishop. Nice. Definitely the right move. This protects the attacked pawn. Yes, this is the way. This blocks white's pawn. Your bishop has more scope from this square. Putting the piece on a blockade square. Your pawn is no longer hanging and is now defended. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. Good job. That's what I would have played too. The piece finds a new active square. You won a pawn for free. This blocks the check from an opposing rook. Your doubled rooks work great together. A very strong play. That was an even swap of material. Takes back. You offered your opponent an opportunity to exchange pieces of equal value. This is an equal trade. Recapturing. A solid choice. Good idea to take the outpost. One of the best moves. This activates your king in the endgame. A very strong play. Nice, definitely the right move. Putting the piece on a blockade square. Yes, this is the way. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. You made that square a great outpost for a bishop. There were worse moves, but also something much better. Good job. That's what I would have played too. A solid choice. You continue the checkmate attack. One of the best moves. Your move gets closer to checkmate. A very strong play. Getting closer to the forced checkmate. A solid choice. You're continuing down the road to checkmate. This creates a pawn chain. Linked pawn. You continue the checkmate attack. This is the strongest option. Your move gets closer to checkmate. The pawn is now passed because it can no longer be challenged by pawns as it tries to promote. Getting closer to the forced checkmate. This steps away from the checking queen. Congrats on your win.